Secret number 6, more of a question. Is your ideal client easy to reach? You've decided to become this educator. You want to get your message out there far and wide, so as many people as you possibly can, but are they easy to reach? I'll tell you a funny story. When I first set up my Facebook group page, when I didn't know what the heck I was doing, I set this page up and I was putting post after post after post. I was using a thing called Hootsuite. You may be familiar with it, and I scheduled something like maybe 7, 8, 9 months worth of posts. And I mean literally sort of posting 3 times a week sometimes, and I scheduled it. I had a VA working for me and she scheduled them all for me, and I was getting absolutely nothing from it. So in the end I thought I'm going to give up on this, and I had a conversation with a lady who was a Facebook specialist. She was on about becoming a client and she wanted to do some sort of joint reciprocal arrangement. But anyway, she took a look at my Facebook group page and said to me, "Eric, do you realize what you're doing here?" And I said, "No, what am I doing?" He said, "You're posting some really good content, but you haven't got any friends or likes on the page." She said it's the equivalent of you going into a theatre, standing on the stage and performing in front of an empty theatre. That's effectively what I was doing. So, you've got all this good information. You want to be able to find the people that are easy to reach, or the people that you want to find are easy to reach. And you can do that. I've put 6 different things on the page here that you could do, 6 things that I have done personally. It's not an exhaustive list, but let's just go through them one by one. So number 1, networking. So I said to you earlier, I set up my own networking group called the Health and Wellbeing Group. It's made up of health and wellbeing practitioners in my city of Salisbury. So whenever we get together as a group, I am there as the only personal trainer and specialising in weight loss. So whenever we meet, it's a great opportunity for me just to sort of share any little tidbits that I have that they can then go and share with their clients if they want to. For example, I've got a great working relationship with the osteopath, and she will send clients my way, which is fantastic, and also a relationship with the hairdresser as well. Not to say I haven't with the others, but those 2 have been particularly fruitful for me, and they're more than happy to put anything that I have got to say about weight loss out in front of their clients who happen to be my ideal clients as well. So that's one way of doing it, networking. If you haven't got your own group, which I doubt you have, you can always join places like the Chamber of Commerce, but you have to be consistent when you go to networking groups, and don't go there with the idea of just trying to sell. Go there with with the mindset of who can I help rather than what can I sell. See that far too often in networking groups, and it's a little bit off-putting, to be honest with you. So that's one way that you can reach your ideal client, not directly but more indirectly. Number 2, a little bit more direct. If you are on Facebook, one of the things you can do is just type in weight loss groups, and that will throw up a whole bunch of groups. Some are private, some are public, and the idea is that you go in there and basically you become a useful resource. You don't go in there and try and sell your services. If you do that, it's a surefire way to be kicked out. So you go in there, you look for the questions that you think you can answer, and you answer those questions, and that's a great way to start to build up I guess some connections with people, and potentially people who may well go on to become a follower of yours, which leads me on to number 3. And number 3 is setting up your own private specialist group. I have one called Start Me Slim and Trim. That's my group, and I have people in there that want to, typically women who are over 40 who are looking to lose weight. So whenever I post in there, I'm posting to the converted, basically people who want to lose weight. So that's a great way of doing it. It takes a bit of time to build a group up. It's not an overnight thing that you do. You've got to work on it consistently. At the moment I'm sitting at just under 400 members in my group, but something that you could do quite easily. And then we've got number 4, your personal Facebook group page. So your personal page, I use my personal page for really business purposes. I occasionally post something on there that's of a personal nature. I said earlier about share some stuff about who you are. Well, occasionally I'll share some stuff on there about maybe I've been cycling, maybe I've been out somewhere, played a bit of tennis, whatever it might be, and I'll share that on my personal. But as you can see from the headline banner on my personal page, it talks about weight loss, and 80% of the posts that I put on my personal page are to do with weight loss, either mindset, diet or exercise. So that's another way that you can potentially reach your ideal client base, but that might take some time, because if you've been using your personal page as a personal page and just posting random stuff on there about your personal life, it may take some time before you can transition that into more of a business page. Then you've got number 5, good old flyers. It's a little bit hit and miss. They reckon anywhere between, I think it's 0.5% and about 2% being very good in terms of return on investment, or in terms of people contacting you. So flyers, through letterboxes, that's a potential way of doing it. It's a bit hit and miss because you don't know who lives behind the door, so you need to do quite a few flyers in order to be reaching the people that you want to reach. And then we've got number 6, which is Facebook advertising. This is something I've not done a great deal of, to be honest with you. I think you need to understand what you're doing on Facebook before you venture into that marketplace. But I know a lot of people have done particularly well, and I'm sure at some point I will go down the paid route for finding my ideal clients. But at this moment in time, it's something that's a little bit on the back burner, and I tend to focus on number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Leaflet dropping number 5, not doing a great deal of. I used to do back in the day, but in the current climate, that's clearly not happening. But it's something that you should not ignore. So those are 6 things you can look at. Is your ideal client easy to reach? Well, using those 6 methods, I would say yes, they are pretty easy to reach. Okay, that's number 6. Is your ideal client easy to reach?